Hi folks, it's Cinemandy here, just reviewing the next film, Sully, based on a book by a man called Chesley Sullenberger, and he wrote a book about the crash landing that he, well, they don't like to call it a crash landing, an emergency landing on water. The book was co-written and it's called Sully, My Search for What Really Happened. It's obviously led to this film. Right, the director, I beg your pardon, is Clint Eastwood. And we all know him for Dirty Harry and Fistful of Dollars and all sorts of cowboy films. He's my hero. It's about a plane. It's like 1549 with 155 passengers on it, and the pilot, Chesley Sullenberger, Sully as he's nicknamed, and it's the title of the film. He is the pilot. His co-pilot is Aaron Eckhart, also known for The Dark Knight and Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen. Very good film. So Tom Hanks plays Sully. So it's a stellar cast, excellent acting. Although when the film started, I was expecting to see carnage and rescue missions and all sorts. And I was quite bored until it got going after about 20 minutes. So I did start nodding off, as usual. And then the action started, because at first I thought, oh, we're not going to see any action. It's just going to be about Sully, because they were giving the background to Sully's upbringing. He had over 40 years in flying planes. I think he started as a crop duster, moving on to the military, where he served, and he became an expert in aviation safety. So he knew it all, really. He'd been flying for 40 years. What happened was the plane, the flight 1549, it took off, and flocks of birds went into the engines, and both the engines were a write-off. So he couldn't turn to one airport or to another airport. He was just stuck. So he managed to land it on the Hudson. So that's about it, really. But got to say, well done to New York's finest policemen, firemen, divers, civilians who all went to the aid, and they were all rescued in under 30 minutes once it had landed. Now I'll just check my things and see if I've got anything else to say. Oh yeah, there is one part of the film. It's the interrogation, because they get treated like criminals. Everybody gets drug tested and background checked and things like that, to make sure that they weren't at fault, because the insurance companies weren't very happy. So they were trying to find pilot error, but there was none. And they used computerized simulations of the data from the plane, and they said, oh yeah, you can land here, you could have landed there, no problem. And Tom Hanks says, well, look, what about human? How many times did they practice these simulated landings? And they said, oh, 17. So they had 17 goes at landing the plane in a simulator before they could say. If he'd have gone to the airport, like the technology, the data recorded said that the engines were fit enough to get into the airport, and he's at it that is ridiculous, because we were the pilot and co-pilot, and we made the best decision we could to save 155 people, 155 souls. Anyway, they put in data to say, yeah, what about human things like going through the checklist and things like that. And so they added on a few, 30, I think it was 35 seconds onto the reaction time that it would take for them to eventually divert to the airport. And and simulators for both airports crashed. So that exonerated them, and they were heroes. And well done, Sully. And well done, Sully's co-pilot. Great film. However, it was a bit it was a bit boring to start with, I must say. So I'll give it 8.5 out of 10, because Tom Hanks and Aaron Eckhart never do a bad film. Good story, but could have been more. Well, if I was an expert on films, I'd be making them in directing them, wouldn't I? So obviously I'm a lay person, and that's how I felt about it. But it is a nice, well, it's not a nice film. It's an interesting film, and it's good that everybody survived. So go see it. 8.5 out of 10. Bye.